Here we have my first Cracker Jack card ever purchased. For stuff like this, I don't cover the grade because they're so scarce and you can basically track at all one of these sales. So this is 1915 Joe Wood. I did bid on the 1914 quite a few times in the last 2 years. Missed out on each one. My buddy Doug got the last 1914 at sale. Here's my first Black Sox card, Eddie Collins. M101 blank back. Pick up from Tony at Monster Cards, 1933 Galaxy. It's number 160. This is scarcer, far less produced, maybe 25 to 50% less produced. I used to know the actual number. I forgot it now, but this is because 160 was issued later in the series. So there was about 6 or 7 sheets of the 1933 Galaxy, and they would put them out in stages, and when they put them out over a period of months, they would skip numbers. So kids were waiting for this one, but this one came out later and they had less sheets than others. Here's a card I wasn't planning on finding this year. It's the 1939 Play Ball Moberg sample card. PSA 2, I have no idea how, but that's how PSA graded them. I purposely didn't cover up the cert on this one because this was more of a spite purchase. So when this card was at auction, folks on Net54 were bashing it, saying, oh, someone's going to buy this card and they're going to clean it. Just look at the back. Everything's going to come off. Those folks who said that, I don't think they looked at the picture of the card close enough, because if you look over here, what's that? It's a pinhole. So even if you clean this off, if that was your thing, this pinhole is still going to keep it a 1. If you get lucky, you may get a 1.5. So this was my only spite purchase of the year. It reminded me of the Jeffrey Lichtman story about when he had the Jackie Robinson postcard, which was a cigarette advertisement, and he ended up buying the one because the person on Net54 was kind of dicking him around, going back and forth with the price and comparing it to one that was available on eBay, and he ended up buying the one on eBay, so the person on Net54 got nothing. But again, still love the card. Not only spite purchase, but I also needed it for my Joe D run. Here's one of the last Howard Reeser, also known as Pistol Pete Reeser cards, 1949 Leaf. This was a Philly show pickup. One of my larger pickups of the year, Mantle rookie, clean back, decent centering. Another Philly show purchase, one of the most centered Burke Ross cards I've ever seen either year. This is a 52 Burke Ross Philly show pickup from Diamond Cards, which was featured in a Mike Monahan video when they had a coin flip or something, and they had to do it twice. These 3 cards go together. I am collecting all the Robin Roberts cards. So we have a 51 Bowman, and the reason I have all 3 is because you can see the evolution of Robin Roberts' signature. So let's start with the 52. Actually, the 50. This is the earlier signature. So the R's are around it. So this is definitely plain day signature of Robin Roberts, ballpoint pen. So this is a 51 Bowman. Then we go to my 52 Bowman, and I'm going out of order. We got to go to 52 Tops, unrehearsed video, and I don't do much editing. So plain day signature. Now this, I believe, is also a plain day signature, or he just or 1970s. I'm not quite sure. It can go either or based on signed examples I've seen would date it, but you can see how the signature evolved from, loops and round signature, and kind of this signature is closer to what you see in 52 Tops also, with the facsimile signature. Then you see here, he's keeping the loops, but now he's starting to get a little bit more right angles, acute angles in his signature. And then you go to his 52 Bowman, and this resembles more of his signature in the 80s that I saw, and the 90s until his death. Love my Robin Roberts cards. Another Monster Cards purchase, 52 Ed Matthews. Love this 1952 Topps Dick Williams high number, successful manager with the 67 Red Sox, the A's, and the San Diego Padres. I picked up this at the Philly show. This is a 54 Williams, number 250, last one in the set. This completed my Ted Williams base card run. This was actually a 2023 purchase, but I got it signed this year and reslabbed. It still came out at PSA 6, which it was before Auto 10. Happy to have this in my collection. 1958 Topps hires root beer test Willie Mays. What's cool about this card is if you look at the back here, this is pretty similar to what they went with on the production card. If you get the, if you see the yellow background, hires root beer cards, those have a different tearaway. Tom Gola, 1961 Flair. Gola is a Philadelphia fella. He passed away now, but he used to help out a lot of college players. When they turned pro, he would manage their money. He was a very successful financial advisor and businessman. Lionel Simmons is one of the folks who he helped, one of the players who he helped manage his money. And Lionel Simmons is living pretty well today, despite not living up to expectations in the NBA. He helped other players too, donated a lot of money to the LaSalle basketball program, tried to make the program better too, but unfortunately he wasn't able to because of the AD at the time. Mike Silsky wrote a nice book about Kobe Bryant, and he talks about what Gola tried to do for the LaSalle basketball program and restoring it to glory, but it went nowhere. Here's a 67 Yaz for Mayor sticker. Love this. 65 Carlton autograph of the card I love. 1967 high number Red Sox card. This was a gift from my pal Rick. This helped me. I needed this for my 67 set, and Rick, it was really generous of him to gift this to me. This is my second 67 Seaver rookie card. What's unique about this one is Bill Dennehy signed it, not Tom Seaver. Clean card. Didn't cover that cert because how many of these are signed by Bill? Going into the year, I had 4 pickups planned, 4 targets, I should say, and this is one of them. 67 Venny, Retroauto, Sandy Koufax. One of the second ones, this is a 68 Venezuelan Nolan Ryan and Jerry Koosman rookie. Picked up this card raw earlier this year. It came with some provenance. Some folks are going to laugh at that word. It's an inside joke. But we have proof that the fella had it signed at the first East Coast National in 1989. And if you watch my Mickey Mantle video, you can learn more about that. One of my other targeted pickups for this year was a 1972 Puerto Rican League sticker, Mike Schmidt. Predates his rookie card by Topps and o-pee-chee by 1 year. Saw 2 of these. They were fairly priced, so I picked up 2. This is just the PSA one. Here's my Schmidt rookie card. What's nice about this, it's signed by by 2 of the 3 players. John Hilton ended up working for the Phillies for a little bit, passed away before this could get signed, but I got the 2 key signatures on it. This is one of those cards where it could have made a John Keating cards I should have owned by now segment when he did those. So I finally was able to pick up a 75 George Brett Topps Mini. Here's a Reggie Jackson SGC7 1969. I'm showing the grade and everything on here because this is why you buy the card and not the grade. When I bought this, this was an SGC 5. I looked at it, The centering looked sharp. The back was nice, so I just cracked it, resubmitted to SGC, and it came back a 7. So it essentially doubled in price. Definitely not a common card. Here's one of the unplanned purchases I had. Been wanting this card for decades. It's one of the progressive proofs for the Reggie Jackson 1977 Topps Baltimore Orioles card. I really need to do a video on this card alone because there's so much history to it. It's just missing the black, which would make it one of the 4 cards that Keith Olbermann owns, which sell for like $60,000. Keith Olbermann, I think, owns 3 of these with the black, where you see Reggie Jackson's name and the background border. It looks like it has black, but it doesn't. It has the other colors, which almost get to black. Love this card. Oh, and it's a blank back, but it's the same exact card stock as the production. These 2 cards could go together. I love Star Wars cards. I don't have many in my collection. I only have maybe 5 or 6. So this is 1977 Argentina Jawa. When it comes to Star Wars, my 2 favorite characters were the Jawas and Han Solo. So this is an Argentina one. This is much like the Vennies you buy for baseball. People just used to slap it into albums. Very thin stock. Not many exist today. And here's my New Zealand Han Solo in the Millennium Falcon. This is one of my other favorite cards. So I'm trying to complete the runs of all the different types of cards for these 2. For this one, I have them all. I have the New Zealand, I have the UK, got the USA, the o-pee-chee, and the Argentina one. This was a gift. First Joe Wood autographed. Thank you. I also have a second Joe Wood autograph that was gifted to me. I'll insert it into a picture, into the video. It was buried in boxes. A lot of these, the vast majority of my collection is kept in safety security boxes at the bank. So going back and forth, I forgot that. This is for John Keating, Mike Junkwax, and all the other Jack Morris fans like myself. One of the pitchers who definitely should not be in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Yes, Morris did have some successful playoff appearances. Did win a lot of games, but his ERA was terrible. And if he was a better pitcher, he would definitely have over 300 wins with the offense that the Tigers had. Maybe I need to get this autographed. Ricky Henderson minor league card. Love this one. I had this card as a kid. Picked up another one because I don't know where that one went. But when you're growing up in the 1980s and you're Mike Schmidt, my favorite player, this was his biggest card outside of anything from the 70s. This was the attainable card for, kids my age. And it was a year that the Phillies won the World Series. Here's 2 basketball cards that go together like peanut butter and jelly. 83, 84 Star. Bird and Magic. They're both short prints. That's because Star didn't have quality control under control, no pun, by that time. So a lot of the sheets that had those 2 cards got scrapped. This is by far my biggest pickup, not price-wise, but value-wise. I bought a collection that contained the entire 84, 85 Star set in addition to other vintage basketball sets. I should say more vintage sets. This is a beautiful card. It does have a thumb ding on it, and it's a little bit shortcut, but I love it, and I'm not even a Michael Jordan fan, really. I'm a Charles Barkley fan, though. So here's Charles Barkley's rookie. That's part of the same set that I purchased last April. And this was actually graded. I crossed it over from BGS 8, which I have no idea it was an 8. But went to Nat Turner, had the schedule, and they graded it for me. This is my favorite wrestling card pickup of the year. 85 o-pee-chee, Roddy Piper. He was my favorite wrestler as a kid. Always wanted a Roger Clemens autograph card, so I picked up all his 85 cards. Already owned his 84 Flair update. This is an autograph copy. This card is in here not because I'm a Larry Bird fan, even though I do respect everything he did on the court, but finding an 87, 88 Flair Larry Bird that's centered is like nearly impossible. There's only a couple of cards issued in the 70s and 80s that's tougher to find centered than this card. The 80-45 star Olajuwon is one of them. There's a few others, but this is quietly a low known card to find centered unless you're a Celtics or Larry Bird fan. This is my Bowman Tiffany Griffey rookie to go with the Topps test. I love Wilt Chamberlain, even his shiny cards. I do have the Atomic Refractor, but I accidentally grabbed this one instead. You know it's atomic or not because it would say it around the number. This is my Lionel Messi card I picked up before things got crazy. Well, they were already crazy, but before he got even nuttier. So he had a market dip, and this when I picked this one up, got lucky. This card has a lot of meaning to me because it started my Eagles quarterback theme. So this is a Kevin Kolb. And I remember when Kevin Kolb was being hailed as the next great Eagles quarterback, you know, we had McNabb, they drafted Kolb as a second-round pick. Michael Vick wasn't in the picture then, if I'm correct. Yeah, so it was McNabb, Kolb got drafted second round. He was supposed to be the next great thing. Obviously wasn't, didn't do much in the pros. But I'm like, well, you know, we won a Super Bowl, so why don't I just collect all the Eagles quarterbacks from Tommy Thompson, who was the quarterback when they won their first world championship, all the way to Nick Foles. And that's what I started doing, and I'm pretty much there. So here's one of my favorite Nick Foles cards. It's an on-card autographed patch. Gotta get it graded, but I don't care for this. It's not about the value. It's about collecting something that makes me happy. It's a nice jersey. It's event worn. It says it in the back, not game used. This card came from Kyle Wax Museum and Russell Wilson and Nick Foles event worn dual patch. And you got to give in, and you got to mention a Carson Wentz card. So this is a National Treasures card autographed by Jared Goff, and we know obviously who's the better quarterback. But coming into the draft, Wentz was supposed to be the best quarterback of the draft, but the Eagles couldn't get him, so he went second. He went first, not to the Eagles. And Wentz was a big part of the Super Bowl year, but he turned into a little bit of a crybaby, a lot of drama afterwards, and he hurt the team because he couldn't stand Foles getting the recognition for everything he did. And we're up to the last 3 cards. Sticking with the Eagles theme, this is Jim McMahon. This card is fun and meaningful to me because I remember in 1991 when Randall Cunningham went down after 3 plays against Green Bay, and our defense was really great that year. We even had Jerome Brown still, but unfortunately didn't work out. And McMahon was our quarterback. I think if he would have stayed healthy the entire year, we used to call him Robo Man after Robo QB after RoboCop, because he wore the visor, he wore a lot of armor to protect himself, but he still got hurt. I still think if Cunningham didn't get hurt, and especially if McMahon didn't get hurt, we would have had a chance to make a good playoff run in 91. This is my Gene Hackman, Hoosiers, Allen and Ginter autograph. Love this card. It's not a red signature, so it's not out of 10, but it's in blue, and love it. Last card I'm going to show today. We're at the 41-minute mark. This is my Charlie Berens comedian Allen and Ginter card. This was signed after the card was made, so it wasn't an impact pull autograph. I like how he wrote "Keep Her Moving." That's one of his slogans. He started as an online person, went to University of Wisconsin, big Green Bay Packer fan, loves to make fun of the Chicago Bears, just a real funny guy. If you get a chance, definitely go on his Instagram and YouTube channels and try to see him live. We've been trying to see him live, my wife and I, but we keep missing him, or he just comes as close to where we live in Hershey, PA. We just don't want to make that drive, but I think we're going to have to go out and do it. So that are my fun pickups of 2024. Thanks